Hey, Allison.
Hi, Beth. So good to see you. Happy
Hey
after
there.
holidays.
Happy holidays. Yeah. So we had this fascinating conversation about anger the other day, and I thought we could share it again. You thought we could share it again. So I'm,
I thought that,
yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead. But you had this little thing going on. What was that?
I was looking for ideas in my head. I know we had a wonderful conversation, and I'm waiting for it to bubble back up.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that you were remarkably idea free. Remarkably idea free. I think I'm going to use that phrase. I like that. Remarkably
Yeah.
idea free at this moment. Well, I think the holidays is a great time to play around with the ideas behind anger, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. So many of us have to have holiday conversations with people that we ordinarily avoid, or just,
Yep,
there's lots of extra pressures at the holidays, and we struggle with our own irritation and anger on occasion.
absolutely. And it's interesting is that I'm a pretty even keeled person a lot of the time, and I found myself at two different levels or two different times really upset. And like for no reason, I was just driving in my car at one point, and all of a sudden I just was wanting to scream and yell at people for no reason.
Did
And it
you,
was
since you were in your car, were you by yourself? Did you yell?
I did yell, and then I stopped and I thought, this is silly because there's no one I'm yelling at, right? And then I realized, okay, so is this really who I am? And not generally, it's not who I am. So then I
Your
asked,
image is kind of wobbling. If you can make it so it doesn't wobble, that'd be good.
oh, thank you so much.
Okay, so you were
I
saying
appreciate it.
anger is not who you are, or at least that
Not,
anger was not.
yeah, not in general. So then I had to think, okay, so what is it? And then as I'm driving down the road, watching the other drivers, I'm thinking, oh, I bet you they're stressed out. They're frustrated. Maybe they've had anger issues at their holiday parties. And then I realized, okay, so maybe whatever anger I'm feeling has nothing to do with me, and it's not even mine.
Oh, how
And
interesting. That's an interesting thought that you're just picking up the general irritation of the time. Wow.
exactly, you're right. And I had been going in and out of stores, and it was the day, Christmas Eve day. So people are, of course, stressed out because they haven't got their presents or they're having to work or whatever their stress is. And it dawned on me, man, maybe I'm just like an antenna, and I'm just drawing to me and amplifying all of the frustration and anger that's around me. And then
Uh,
when I did that, then I was able to detach and go, okay. And when I did that, so I was able to detach, and then I asked myself, so what is this? What is this? Like, what is this? Well, I think this is somebody else's anger, or I'm feeling it, or I'm a little stressed because I don't think I can get everything done I want to get done. Okay, so then who put all that stuff on my plate to get everything done that I want to get done? Oh, wait a minute, that's me. Hmm. Now I can go into oh, it's an awareness. So am I creating my own situation to make myself angry? And if that's the case, it's like, oh, what do I want to choose that? Do I want to choose angry, not angry? Well, since I want to ram my car into somebody else's car, which is not normal for me, and my car would get hurt, I think I want to choose something different.
I'm glad you made that
I'm just
choice.
thinking, I think I want to choose something different. So that's what I did, and then I have and then I of course have a whole arsenal of things that I can bring to the table in order to choose something different. So I put on Christmas music. I distracted my thoughts. I started thinking, you know what I actually did? I started looking at everything I liked. Oh, there was a cool tree right there. The other one sucked, but that one is cool. Oh, good tree. Oh, there was actually a nice driver. Okay, there's a nice driver. And just start with the smallest little things to be grateful for. And then probably within less than 5 minutes, maybe 3 exits, I was doing much better.
3 exits in a crowded city environment, so they were close
Exactly.
together. Yeah.
Well, that could have been an hour, but we will just pretend it's 5 minutes.
Okay. So I actually have a car story too, since we're talking about anger, and you just walked us through your tools, some of the tools that you use as a communications consultant.
Yes.
And I loved that one of them was gratitude. And my car story is that I was driving along quite a while ago, not during the holidays, and was not entirely paying attention. You know how you do sometimes when you're driving and your mind drifts a little bit, and somebody honked at me and gave me the finger, flipped me off. And I realized that I had drifted out of my lane and was about to cut this person off. And they were pretty ticked about it. They were quite angry. And my first reaction was very defensive. I swerved back. And then I was like, I'm a good driver. I don't do stuff like that. And then I thought, well, I just did. Not good at all. Right? And then I realized this person, that with their anger, saved my life just now.
Yes.
So I was alone in the car. I started thinking, thank you so much, kind sir, for saving my life and yours and not messing up my day. And because I was in the car and I needed to really change my energy, I started to sing it. And I'm not going to sing it for you now, but
please, just a little bit.
It was just a random tune. Thank you, and going on. And it changed my whole day, that event, because it made me more mindful of what I was doing. It brought me back to the moment. It brought me back to gratitude. And it really illustrated that moment of choice. I can choose how I react to this. I don't have to go with my first reaction. Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the wonderful things about anger. Here, I'm playing with my hair. Well, that's right. It's our first Zoom. We'll figure it out. The wonderful things about anger is it ignites awareness. It means, oh, wait a minute. Something is amiss. Something is going on. And that's fantastic. Otherwise, we would continue to drift into unconsciousness and into somebody else's lane, right? So that's terrific. So I think there's a really good point to anger, and I love it when children get angry and they have a little blow up and then it's over and it's gone. And
that's fascinating to watch. Yeah,
it is. Well, and maybe that's a really correct model of what to do with anger. It says, pay attention, something's happening, let's make a change.
So my thought about anger, so you're when we've talked about anger, you've been all about detachment from it and making different choices, using it to ignite that moment of awareness. For me, a conclusion I came to a while ago from reading a book called The Dance of Anger is that anger gives me very important information about my limits and my boundaries and what I choose to do with that and how I choose to interpret it. Like when I drove out of my lane and almost killed myself and the other guy, maybe it wouldn't have been that bad, but it was bad. And my first reaction was defensive, like I'm a good driver and how dare that person flip me off, right? That was rude. And then I was able to say, okay, normally I would not tolerate that kind of behavior from another person. But in this case, that crossing my limits just saved my life.
Yes.
It's a different thing. So, but the point I'm trying to make about this one is a bad example for this, is that it did cross my limits. It's not behavior I tolerate from other humans normally, right?
Right. Well, and I agree. And I think the other thing, and anger can be, is an indicator that there's a lie going on. Either somebody's lying to you, or you're lying to yourself, like, oh, it's okay, it really is okay, when it's not. Or the other person is lying to themselves, like they don't know that they're like, they may be thinking what they're doing is right, but they're lying to themselves. Or that there's just a general lie that we are engaging in out there unconsciously. And so having that anger, it's like, it's that same thing. It's an indicator, it's information. And now what do we do with that information?
And for me, I would even go one step further and say that anger is nearly always, for me, about a truth that's getting trampled on. It's not only that there's a lie somewhere, but that the truth is getting trampled, and that's what gets to me.
There you go.
And so then we have a choice about what our reaction is, and the other thing is the curiosity to say, okay, what's that about? What does that mean? If I'm feeling, if I'm driving down the road and all of a sudden I'm angry for no reason, what's the reason? There's something here that's driving this. Yeah.
Exactly. And here's the interesting thing, and it's we can even go even further. Whose truth is being trampled on? Because it may not even be our own truth. I was at a cowboy dance place, like it's Bushwhackers in Portland, and it was the first time I had gone. So I got on the floor for about 30 seconds, and then I thought, I'm going to get off the floor and watch everybody, since I am going to get trampled. So I was watching from the outside, watching everybody learn the dances. And at one point they stopped and they played the Pledge of Allegiance, or the Our Country Choose of Thee, what is that song called? Our American Alma Mater, whatever. Well, as a person who lived outside the country for 5 years, every time it's played, I still am in tears. But I also lived outside the country for 5 years, so I don't necessarily put my hand to the heart. I don't necessarily do that. I'm reverent, but it's in a very emotional type of a time for me still, a little teary eyes. Well, 3 or 4 guys down. Oh wait, I have to say, so it was in the summertime, so apparently I had left my sunglasses on top of my head. Well, 3 or 4 guys down, somebody who was later asked that he might be a little too inebriated to stay at the party, so to speak, looked down at me and got irate, because not only did I not have my hand over my heart, because I was holding my hands down here so that I wouldn't be a blubbering idiot, but I had something on my head, albeit they're sunglasses. So he started making an advance at me, and then his buddies were going like, whoa, whoa. And I'm looking at him. I couldn't figure out what was wrong for a while. And then he pointed at my head, and I'm thinking, is there something wrong? Oh, and I felt the sunglasses. Then it dawned on me, he's angry because for his truth that there should be nothing on the head, and that I needed to have my hand over my heart. Otherwise, I wasn't being patriotic. So that is, there's an anger at a truth, but it's not my truth. It may not even be his truth. It's just one he adopted. And then there was a protocol, and the protocol wasn't met. So that's another interesting piece about anger. It may not even be about our own truth.
Yeah, that's really, that was an odd noise, whatever that was.
I don't know what that was either.
Okay. Anyway,
continue on.
So that brings us back to curiosity as we wind up here. I'm thinking that curiosity, to meet anger with curiosity may be our most life-saving, that's maybe too grand, but the way to kind of save a conversation or to save our day, to meet anger with curiosity might be the take-home message we just came up with.
I think it is absolutely the best message, because if you meet anger with curiosity, then it leads you to questions, and then the questions lead you to clarity, and the clarity leads you to choices, and then the choices lead you to a whole different possibility of what you want to do. I love that. Title this. What was you saying? I think we should title the curiosity.
Meet anger with curiosity.
Okay, that's the new title. I love this.
Okay, all right. Cool. Well, this has been, we have not been idea free. We've had a number of ideas. So it's been really fun. Let's do this again.
I love this, Beth. And so what I love about working with you, Beth, is that you work with burnout. You've got a whole handbook on how to not only get yourself out of burnout, but how to stay out of burnout. And so you're a published author and you're a speaker. And remind me the full title of your book.
Save Yourself from Burnout, a system to get your life back. My voice is going away. Oh dear. Save yourself from, I can't do it.
Okay. Save Yourself from Burnout, a
Save
system for getting your life back. By Beth Genley, who's a fabulous speaker, by the way.
And Marnie Loomis.
And Marnie Loomis, absolutely. These two are a dynamo team. And you guys done a great job. And I think this conversation we had would come under your section for coping skills. Is that right? Coping skills. Because I'll continue to talk because we could all like hopefully have a friend to help us cope when we're choking to death. Anyway, we could always add more tools to our coping skill toolbox, so to speak. And I think what works out really well is for me as a strategic transformational coach, and I am playing with a new product called the Happier Hour Coach, which is doing a coaching session, but instead of doing it in a stuffy office or going to your place or my place or whatever, to actually have it happen in a happy hour or a restaurant. Now, don't worry. I know my background is theater, so I make sure that the production values are there, that we're in the back, that there's a booth, that, not everybody is going to be able to hear our conversation. But what happens is that in that relaxed atmosphere, our barriers come down, our humor comes up, and we get to our solutions so much faster and with more fun. And it's a happier type of coaching. So that's what I'm doing.
That's beautiful, Allison. And I think I have just enough voice to say that I generally do my coaching by Zoom this way so that I can talk with people all over the country. And there it goes again. I don't know what's going on with my voice. I think I'm done.
Well, it must be time. Well, I think we've covered some things on meeting anger with curiosity, doing curiosity, questions, clarity, and choice. I think we've done a great job. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have, you can get a hold of me, Allison Bennett, and you can email me at Allison Innovates. That's ALLISON Innovates, INNOVATES @gmail.com. Or you can go to my website, thehappierhourcoach.com. And you can get a hold of Beth by?
I'm at Beth at burnout-solutions or burnout-solutions.com. Or the website is burnout-solutions.com. And we'd love to know what you think of this and what your thoughts are about anger and curiosity.
And if you have any questions for us, let us know the questions and we'll bring it up on the next conversation.
Great idea. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great talking to you all. Bye now.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Allison.
Bye, Beth.